Alright, and hello everybody, I'm the SweetBro27, and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. This is another Dragon Ball story event, meaning we are one step closer to getting this guy to be an LR. It still has been revealed what his LR will be on the JP version of the game, but there are just a couple of missions here. None of them are too difficult. Get like the new side banner Krillin, get him to SA10, get both characters Dokkan awakened or whatever. So we are going to just rush through these really quick. There is a boosted category, which is Turtle School, so I'm bringing a full Turtle School LR team. So, again, these are just, they're pretty easy. I really do enjoy Dragon Ball stories. When Dragon Ball stories actually do something different, like, as of late, Dragon Ball stories have been kinda lame, not gonna lie, because most of them will just, like, give you access to grind a annoying free-to-play metal, like the metal riddle meta rildo apples, and so on and so forth, but they don't really give you any new like good characters. Like, remember version Z Goku upon release? Like, he was actually like a viable runnable unit, and like the god event and things of that sort. But after that, we really haven't gotten a lot outside of some support memories, but even the support memories can kind of be hit or miss. Some of the support memories are really good, some of them are kind of and that's just kind of how things have been. But if this free-to-play LR, whenever we get this new Kid Goku, I know some people think it might be Kid Goku and Krillin. I've seen Upa be thrown around. I've seen like a Turtle School thing where it'll be Krillin, Roshi, and Goku. Time will only tell, I guess. But as of right now, the new Goku, we're going to quickly read over his stats. I'm not going to pop it up just because it's a TUR. It's not going to be relevant, especially like once he gets LR status. We'll just quickly talk about what he does. But yeah, so his leader skill is DB Saga, 3 key, and 50 to stats, which is pretty bad. But again, he is a TUR of a free-to-play that isn't supposed to be a TUR. On his super attack effect, he stacks attack and he raises attack and greatly raises defense for 1 turn, and then supreme damage to the enemy. 70% attack when performing a super attack within the same turn. Dragon Ball Sagas get 20% attack. Okay. He gets an additional 15% attack and chance of performing a crit plus 5% per Dragon Ball category ally on the team. He gets an additional 70% attack and launches an additional that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when there's another Earthbred fighter category ally attacking the same turn. So that doesn't really give us anything to go off once he becomes an LR. I mean, Earthbred fighters is to be expected because at this point in the series, there aren't really any, like, space-traveling warriors or anything, you know, like, DKP hasn't really been introduced at this point in the series, so it is just kind of, like, this is their training arc. Now, is this going over the actual stuff, or is this the Blood Ruby movie? I think that this is, like, the actual anime's training arc, based off of what Krillin is wearing, but I could be wrong because they both start off the same, where the movie Roshi wanted them to go get the Sleeping Maiden in the Blood Ruby Castle, but it looks like this is actually following the anime, not only because of what Krillin is wearing, but because we see Launch, and I'm pretty sure Launch was... I don't think Launch was in that movie, she might have been, I don't remember. But yeah, so looking at it, they could very well be a Roshi, Krillin, and Goku, obviously. I mean, Goku's obviously going to be a part of it. Again, I've seen Upa be thrown around because by the looks of things, if we're following, like, the progression of the storyline, this would, like, be right before Mercenary Tao is introduced. So I guess you could do that, but his links kind of throw a wrench in that because he has All in the Family, which is a Goku link. And then he has the Innocence, Turtle School, Guidance of the Dragon Ball, Incredible Adventure, and Shattering the Limit. And then he's just on Dragon Ball Seekers, Youth, Dragon Ball Saga, and Earthbred Fighters. Now, that's why we know it's probably not going to be just a standalone Goku, because he doesn't have Pure Saiyans, which is kind of, you know, the giveaway. Obviously, he doesn't have, like, Joined Forces yet, but I feel like it is very likely he will become a Joined Forces. It's interesting that he has the Turtle School link, but not the Turtle School category. So that is the stage where you grind up the Krillin, and we're going to look at that Krillin right now, actually. So hold on, let me just get pulled up on my computer. Again, we're not going to really go in depth on what they do. But apparently this Krillin's actually pretty good, so let's see. So this Krillin leads World Tournament, 3 key and 50 to stats. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Hold on, I gotta quickly look over here at the stage. Raise attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to the enemy, and seal super attacks. Having a super attack seal is always nice if you run them in other stages outside of, like, difficult content. So he gets 120% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets an additional 120% attack and defense when performing a super attack. Oops, I am tapping the wrong thing. And if the target is, if they're sealed, he gets an additional 82% attack. Yeah, okay, I did read that right. Attacked enemies lose 30% attack and defense. Dragon Ball Saga category allies get 2 key and 30% to stats. He has a medium chance of launching an additional super when HP is 88% or more at the start of turn. He foresees enemies' super attacks for 3 turns once only, and has a medium chance to evade super attacks when HP is 86% or less at the start of turn. So that's not terrible. You can get a scouter for 3 turns. That's actually super, super useful. And being 30% chance to dodge isn't too bad. He is getting some decent stats on super attack, and he's giving decent support to Dragon Ball Saga. So I could definitely see you getting some versatility out of running this character. Not necessarily a ton, but he is on World Tournament, which could be relevant. This is like another tournament participant buff, just because right now that team is in a really awkward spot where it's pretty much spread between World Tournament and Universe 6, or not Universe 6. The Universal Survival Saga. It's kind of like split straight down the middle between those 2 teams, because those teams don't really work together, because World Tournament units are normally from Dragon Ball Saga, and then, you know, you have like the Incredible Adventure, you have Guidance of the Dragon Balls, you have all these odd characters, whatever. Then you have, obviously, Universal Survival Saga, which, you know, has like Tournament of Power being like the very prominent link. You have a lot of Saiyan units, a lot of like random units with like weird, wonky link sets. I mean, U11 is like a dead category. You have like Peppy Gals. It's weird. It's weird for sure. But I guess this is a buff to all of those teams. Again, I could definitely see you running him, even though he does give the Dragon Ball Saga category more buffs. So more than likely, you're going to want to run him on that team as opposed to like U6. Again, the TOP androids, I don't really know what they were cooking. They may become super, super good later on down the road once we get like MUI to EZA and what have you. But as it stands right now, it's such a very awkward team. Again, if I haven't made this clear enough, global players, even though that there are good sales right now, 25 stones can get you a 10 unit multi. I don't know what the discounts after that would be. There are good discounts. If you want the TOP androids, they will be returning. If you're summoning just to get like Kale, God Goku, or Kid Goku, remember that you have the same chance to get them as you do STR Videl or Tech, Kale, and Caulifla. So even though, you know, you could get a really good unit, there's a very high probability that you'll get a stinker, as well as you can get, I always forget their names, Larbanra, Zarbuto, and the other guy, I don't know the other guy's name. But yeah, the next arc after this, because it does seem that it is following the anime, not the movies. So the next arc after this would actually be Mercenary Tao. So I could definitely see Upa finally getting a unit in the game. I don't even think Upa is like a support item or anything. I don't think he's been referenced like at all in Dokkan, which is a little weird, honestly, just because like one of the first wishes on the Dragon Balls was to resurrect his father after Tao murdered him. And that whole arc where Goku isn't strong enough to beat Tao, then, you know, has to climb Korin's tower to drink the mystic water and everything, just like Master Roshi did all those years ago. I feel like that is like a very iconic part of Dragon Ball, one of like the better parts, and it does set up like Tien's motivations just a little bit later into the series, you know. A lot of like cool things kind of come around that arc, so getting a free-to-play LR for that part of the story does make sense. But enough babbling about me. Let's go ahead and talk about what this Krillin's link set are. Yeah, I bet you didn't even remember we were talking about this Krillin. Just because I went on just a little bit of a tangent. How many stages are actually in this? Is this going to take forever? Oh my gosh, there are 12 whole stages, and I'm only halfway there. I better shut the hell up. So the link sets, he has Courage, Brainiacs, Turtle School, Infighter, The Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, and Shattering the Limit. And then for the links, World Tournament, Youth, Dragon Ball Saga, Bond of Master and Disciple, Earthling, Battle of Wit, Turtle School, Bond of Friendship, Earthbred Fighters, Tournament Participants. So he is on a lot of teams as well. And is this, yeah, this is Krillin Youth. I don't actually know how many other Krillin Youth characters there are in the game. I can't imagine there would be very many. So, I mean, that could be good, because you could run, like, the other much better side banner STR Krillin from the 23rd World Tournament. You would be able to, like, theoretically run them on the same turn if you, like, really wanted to do that. I don't know why you would. But it's something you could do. I do just want to verify that there aren't... Is that the first Krillin Youth unit? Or at least the first one I can think of. There is a SR. There is an STR SR Krillin Youth. So that's pretty interesting. And I kind of hate... I'm now looking at Krillin's page. There are so many units that are just Krillin, you know? There's like no differentiation between them, which I like. The same name update is super stupid. I don't know why still to this day we can't run, or like you can run them on the same team, but you can't link them together. And Krillins have kind of like a weird-ish link set. Like Courage is certainly one of a link that you don't see too terribly often. We're gonna look really quickly at like the tech Krillin, just for example. Like Turtle School, you can get that sometimes. Courage is one. High compatibility. I don't even know what that link does, if I'm being completely honest. Experienced fighters, Kamehameha. Yeah, so solid support is another one. Krillin is a character who kind of does just have like a catch-all link set where they can link pretty decently with like most characters. But why not have a Krillin that could link together? And why don't we have a top-tier Krillin? Like, the best Krillin we have in the game is the side banner for my junior. But other than that, like, LR Prime Battle Krillin, he's not good. Tech Krillin has definitely fallen off. AGL, Tournament of Power Krillin, maybe getting an easy A soon, I guess. LR Krillin and Gohan aren't good. 18 and Krillin aren't very good. The TUR Krillin and Gohan aren't good. Piccolo and Krillin, that's a free-to-play. And then Krillin and Vegeta, like, none of those are very good. Krillin deserves more love, man. Same with, like, TN. TN deserves more love. They all deserve their own Dokkan Fests. And I'm kind of surprised that there hasn't. Like, Yamcha getting the first DFE out of, like, the Z fighters outside of Goku is a little insane to me. Even though I love Yamcha. Yamcha is, like, the GOAT, for sure. Even though, you know, he kind of got moved to the side a lot during DBZ. He does kind of have, like, a little bit of a resurgence during Dragon Ball Super's manga. Like, during the Moro arc, he's able to kind of throw hands a little bit through there. So, you know, he does have a little bit of a revitalization, but I do think he did get a little disrespected that he wasn't added to the roster for, like, the TOP. But, you know, that's several years removed, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. And this is actually really good now that I'm thinking about it. So even though this is 12 stages, so I'm going to be here rambling like a buffoon for the next foreseeable little future, just talking about menial things or what have you, you're going to get a lot of stones for this. So 12 stages, each with 2 difficulties. That's 24 stones right there for however much grinding this is going to take. And then, you know, you're getting 2 pretty solid-ish free-to-plays. Like this Krillin, again, I think he's decent. Just reading his kit, you have to be at that HP threshold for him to get his dodge. But, you know, he's decent support on a pretty good team. You could run him, and he does have a scouter, and a scouter is always viable in almost any situation as long as you can keep the scouter character safe. But then, you know, we're going to get another free-to-play LR who hopefully will actually be able to run in, like, Red Zone. I'm not asking for them to be a Red Zone killer necessarily, but, like, actually let them be viable and runnable. That way new characters or, like, new players who come to this game can, like, out the gate be competent with, like, the difficulty that's out there at the moment. Because, like, no one's going to be realistically running, like, most of the Super Strikes. Even though I do like most Super Strikes, or some Super Strikes. TN is one who comes to mind. TN is actually a really good Super Strike. 16 was a really good Super Strike. King Cold was actually a pretty decent one as well. Like, my very first run back in the day beating Broly with one of every extreme type, I actually did use Super Strike King Cold because at the time I did not have physical Janemba, so he was my physical Janemba stand-in, and he actually did pretty decent even against like the AoEs. I did get lucky though that he was able to super first, and I did use a Whis for that phase just because that was the meta back then. Y'all remember when you had to use 2 Whis against STR Broly? Like that, what a time to play the game. You would have characters who would be building up for his first 2 stages or whatever, and then out of nowhere, here comes this AoE super phase that just murders everyone. AoEs will always be a challenge in this game, just saying. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. And always keep it in mind. It's never, you can always use items. Don't let anybody shame you for using items. I use items all the time, and I have a pretty powerful box. You know, I have almost all the recent summonable characters, and I have to drop items all the time. And speaking of dropping items all the time, a video that will be coming out in the next couple of days. I don't exactly know when. I have the footage recorded. I just need to do the voiceover for it. Super Saiyan 2, who turns into Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I did a video. I wasn't planning for it to be a video. I was just recording it for like shits and gigs. But it actually got a lot of good footage from a lot of characters. So I brought him into the Fusion Zamasu Red Zone. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because that is one of my favorite characters ever. That's one of my favorite fights in the anime in general. It was just so cool. Dude, I'm just babbling all over myself. If anybody's made it this far into the video with me just stumbling over every single sentence that I've said, thank you. You are appreciated. I do love each and every single one of you a lot. You are, like, the channel is doing great right now. We're at like 164 subscribers at the time of recording. which is so cool. Like, thank you to everyone who does like comment, share around, subscribes, all that good stuff. It really does help the channel out a lot, and I hope one day, you know, I say it, I'm at the end of every video, but I'm an up-and-coming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. You know, I really do think that I have like a place on this platform just because I fulfill like a different niche. I have a much more like realistic box as opposed to like all the whales, as well as I am also on global. Even though the global sync will be coming very, very shortly, which I am super excited for, meaning that like global hindsight is going to go away, meaning that a little bit of my niche is going to go, but that is like probably the best thing that could happen for the longevity of this game. That way, you know, hype celebrations, every player can be on it at the same time. That means top grossing is probably going to be way easier to get. That just means that like we won't have to wait, like you won't have to, and there also will be that case where characters or people won't waste stones nearly as much, I feel. Because, you know, you have, like, the idea of, like, if you... Like, I understand summoning for your favorite character. I do get that or whatever. But if you, like, are just wasting stones, thinking, like, oh, yeah, I can get my stones by anniversary or whatever. Or, like, this character won't return for a while. You never know what Dokkan is going to do. Like, I summoned on the New Year's banner with the, like, this New Year's Step Up. I did that, although that's every single year. I summoned on that Carnival banner. I now have a dupe in my future Gohan. I also now have Metal Cooler added to my box. Like, you never know what they're going to do. I did summon on both of those, even though I would maybe advise against not doing that. Just, you know, again, you want to, like, stockpile as much as you can, especially since right now we're in the TOP celebration where, like, you shouldn't be... Oh, clean! Finally got a cutscene in this. This is actor skill, which is something I feel like you don't see. But yeah, that is cool. That's cool. But right now, you know, we're kind of in, like, a lull point where there's no real need to spend stones. After this, we are getting Gohan and Piccolo. And then, are there any other DFEs that happened in between then and now that I'm not thinking of? I don't think so, because then we'll have Golden Week. And then we will get, like, Harutogarn and SSJ3. And then after that, it'll be Sand Day. So there are a lot of, like, big celebrations that we're going to be getting, like, back to back to back to back to back. So right now, I would recommend stockpiling as many stones as you can. That's like what I would do for like most of the things. Like again, every now and then you can summon like on your favorite unit. I do get that. I do summon probably more than I should, but again, I do try to make content on the game, so that's kind of how I can justify it or what have you. But there's always going to come a time where like anniversary, they always have the best banners. They always have the best units featured. Anniversary, normally the headlining unit, whether it be a TUR, LR, or whatever, they're normally meta-defining. They change the game in a substantial way. So it makes much more sense to summon on them than just... Again, even though I think the TOP androids, I think they're cool. They have a very good OST and everything, but they are definitely on a much lower power level as opposed to, like, Fusion Zamasu. Especially, like, Harutogarn and SSJ3, which we'll be getting soon. And substantially weaker than Gogeta and Broly, which are currently the Part 1 Anniversary LRs for the 9th Anniversary. Still hoping for Beast and Cell Max, which I feel like is pretty much a guaranteed. However, it would be hysterical if we got, like, I don't know, Gamma 1 and 2. Even though I would be super hyped for Gamma 1 and 2. But, like, Gamma 1 and 2 and Magenta. Imagine that, like, that something goofy like that. You never know. But I think that is going to be it. I am just kind of spamming through this super fast. I am going to grind up all the missions off camera. But you'll probably see at some point that I'll have both of them. I already have the Goku rainbowed, but I'll get the Krillin rainbowed. I'll get them to SA10 or whatever. But we can go ahead and wrap this video up here. Ooh, this is actually a stage where you can grind up bronze Hercule medals pretty easily. But that is going to be all for this time, guys. I've been the SweetBro27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube, the links of which can all be found in the description of this video. While you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment. Again, you guys are fantastic with all the support, so let's keep that up. Again, you guys are appreciated, and I thank every single one of you for everything that you've done for me. But that is going to be all for now. So as always, I've been the SweetBro27, and I am signing off.